Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Patreon exclusive happy hour podcast pregame episode. Of course, I'm Ray. Mike's back with us this week.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
I thought I saw this guy's face on the milk carton somewhere.
And of course, Socrates is with us, and it's the episode 20 years in the making. 20 years ago, Al Snow, quote unquote,
22 years ago, yesterday,
stole Socrates' finish,
Mm-hmm.
and Socrates was also disrespected at the bar, as he claims, by Al Snow.
He smirched, you might even say.
And he's been holding a grudge of that
Steven Regal
every since.
Smirched.
Far be it from the high priest to hold a grudge against anybody. I mean, it's not like we're making a
He's holding
show.
his crotch. Look
Yeah,
at it. Look
yeah.
at it.
It's not like we're making a show
He's
about
not
that
sure if
either.
he wants to come or cry right now.
What is it? What is this? Is that a giant dick or what is that?
So everybody can't see Socrates
that's
right now.
regular dick
But,
right here.
Oh my God!
You said that you go to, you call your ass for it. You call it, brother.
but he has like
You call for the stunner, you get the stunner.
he has his phone or something in his pocket, so his pocket is kind of
What, this
pulling
way?
this way.
It's
Yeah,
poking
yeah,
real
left
hard.
one.
It looks like he has like
yeah. It was a ball,
Nine-inch
ball of
dong.
tissues, but it made it look like that he had a giant salami,
Oh, wow.
like sticking out the side, and it still looks like that. It looks like
It's
he's gonna sit down and talk to Al Snow like this. He's gonna be like,
Speaking of
don't
salami.
mind my hammer, Al Snow.
Speaking
Don't,
of salami,
don't mind.
I was watching an old EWA show, and there was a certain commentator on there, and he called Nui the Samoan salami.
That may have been me.
It was you. It was you. And Dan Lunar was like, "Did you just call him the Samoan salami?"
Dan Lunar. Dan Lunar. What the fuck is a Lunar?
He wrestled Mexico and Japan. I'll have you know.
He did. He did.
And
You're
I worked
right.
the Nokia in the Tokyo Dome, brother.
To be fair, I was probably extremely intoxicated
You saw
while
it,
we
brother.
were doing that interview, because there were while we were
No, it
doing
wasn't an
that
interview. You guys
commentary.
were-
Yeah, the commentary.
Yeah. It was the show you
Because-
wrestled Adam Cole.
Oh, was it the outdoor show?
Yeah, where you wrestled
Okay,
Cole. Yeah.
that's probably what it was. I think I was drunk
It
because
was
I
you and
remember.
that dashing young rookie who
Yeah.
really looked really good.
Yeah, I remember.
He's a handsome son of a
What
bitch.
was it? Buckchild was known as Johnny Hardwick there, and we kept on
Johnny
making
Hardwick.
we kept
Johnny
on
Hardwick.
we kept on making Jim Christian and Hard Dick jokes because his name was Johnny Hardwick and Jim's real name is
James
Hardwick.
Hardwick,
Yeah,
yeah.
James Hardwick. So we were like, and I think you got that name as a rib from Joe. So are you gonna take one
It's
of
not as
these?
bad as
Yeah.
Buckchild.
Thank you.
Mike's like, fuck yeah. So for those of you,
I'm gonna stay sober.
Mike is drinking with us on the program
I'm going to
tonight,
stay
so-
sober because I'm a responsible man.
yeah. Socrates is going to be the designated driver tonight.
For the
And he's
hot-
never driven a vehicle in his life.
No, he has. No, he has.
And you were
And
there the last time I
I've been in the
drove,
car
no team was in
with
the
him.
car.
I've been in the car with him when he
1999.
drove.
Yes, you
Yes.
were.
Oh
Yes.
man, you
he
can
has.
fucking taste the
I
Old
was-
Bay in that.
Hey,
Holy
for the record,
shit!
oh, is that Old Bay? Let me see. I'm not gonna drink that.
No.
Let me see.
Smell
I
it.
am.
Smell it.
Hey, but for the record, I am high as fuck right now. So I'm not gonna lie. I smoked some sticky icky. That's pretty cool. I like that. There you go.
Oh man. So I mean, tonight's the night. Of course, we went to the Orioles game last night,
And the night before.
and the night before, and we were calling it the calm before the snowstorm. So the snowstorm is coming tonight. We're in the middle of summer, and we're getting a snowstorm because. And here comes Mikey D. We're
Mike
gonna
Ellis, I'm
admit-
sorry.
We're gonna admit Mikey
guys
D
are
right now.
something else.
So we're gonna admit Mikey D right here onto our Patreon pre-show, and of course Mikey D joining us. He's from the Dirty Ugly Wrestling Podcast. He's gonna be moderating
Wasn't that-
Socrates and Al
Wasn't that
Snow
Ellsworth
here
tag team?
tonight.
Very ugly.
What's up, Chase Rawlings?
How are you? Welcome
Wonderful. Yeah, man.
to podcast pre-show. Of course, we've already we've been doing a little bit of stuff for the Patreon, and we already made fun of Socrates because he's wearing shorts and he has a piece of paper balled up in his pocket, and it looked like he had a big war hammer just kind of hanging off to the side.
It looks like he has like a 9-inch.
At least it's a war hammer. That's good. You know, not something else hanging out of there.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm all about the dirty and the ugly, but not about that.
Everyone said it's bigger than all of y'all
Yeah.
combined.
And we told him, we're like, what's going to happen is you're going to sit down to talk to Al Snow. And when you go to sit down, it's going to be like this. And you're going to be like, oh, so let me tell you, Al Snow, because when we go live, I think we're going to go live. I'll do the introductions. I'll introduce you, do all of our regular introductions.
Mhm.
And then I'll introduce Al and pretty much be like, hey, Al, there's someone who has something that they need to say to you. And then I'll get up. Socrates will hop in my spot. Because of Socrates' thing with his eyes, I'm gonna have to put the laptop screen down because the screen will fuck his eyes up. So he's not gonna see what Al or your or anything reactions are gonna be. But the camera's right here. Yeah, you'll hear it. So but he's gonna come into, and then I guess from there you looked up, you researched a lot of stuff I sent you, so you kind of know a little bit of the backstory. You can just start off. Socrates sits down and be like, all right, so Socrates, you know, why don't you
Socrates, you're calling Al Snow out so many times.
Yeah.
He dogged you before, he ribbed you before. What's going on? He stole your finish. What is going on? Just take it to the hole. Go for it and see how Al Snow reacts. And then I'll just let you guys do your thing.
Let Mikey D do his thing because he's been doing this, and let him do his thing.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I love the shirt, by the way. I was just listening to some Metallica. I had some one rumbling when I was coming off my workspace. So thank you so much.
Nobody cares. Get out of here, Unitas Dong.
Yeah, get out of here.
Thank you, thing. Something like that. That's
Mike
great.
goes to push him away, and Mike's just like that as he goes, hey, get out of here, Socrates.
I don't know which way Socrates would be on my screen, but you guys are over here, so I'm like reaching over. I'm going to choke slam somebody through the screen right here.
It's weird because with Zoom, a lot of times Zoom will kind of like hop around.
Zoom will flip flop you, right?
Flip flop. Like at some point, like you'll sit there and you'll be like, "What the fuck?" And there'll be a point later, probably we do about like 30 minutes, and then I'll do like a quote unquote break for the audio part, which we keep going live. But after that, normally is when we do the games.
Okay.
3 games that we do, which is 5-second rule, incoherent, and Cards Against Humanity. So we normally.
All right.
Yes, you'll be involved with that. So what we'll do is with 5-second rule, we'll start with Al Snow. If he doesn't get it, it'll go to you, then Socrates, then Mike, then me. You know,
I thought I was dropping something on my floor and I had 5 seconds to pick it up. I mean, I just vacuumed my floor too, so it looks pretty good in the office.
Yeah, it's just pretty much name 3 of something, and you have to do that. Of course, Cards Against Humanity, you probably know what that's all about.
Yeah.
Let's read off the black face card. We'll ask Al what his.
Why's it got to be black? I'm sorry. This is how we roll. I need to get another beer in me. It's the Happy Hour podcast, so I need to start doing that and erase the racism.
How's the new place, by the way?
Loving it. It's great. I had the mansion before, but it was too many rooms. So now I just upgraded to the penthouse. So it's a smaller space, but it's definitely very, very nice. So I'm loving it. And I've got to have you over because we got to get you back on the Dirty Ugly. So
Mike Dell's mansion.
100%. And dude, anytime you want to come on, let me know, because I'm all about, having people on. Like, for example, like our regular other host, Matt, he messaged me about 30 minutes before and was like, hey, the kids are rambunctious. I can't make it. I'm like, all right, that's cool. We're covered because, Mike's here, Socrates here, plus I have Mikey D. So
I can zoom in anytime from anywhere. So works out.
It's just weird. When I started this, it was always weird for me, and I probably could do it, but it was weird for me to do it by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I guess if I'm talking to a guest, I'm good, but I guess like introducing the show and kind of saying stuff on my own. Yeah.
You talk about yourself a lot.
Put yourself on, brother.
He's got a great personality. That's where we'll start with that.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, this is my show. I mean, Jesus Christ. I do all the editing. I do all the graphics.
This is my show. Jesus Christ. You just called yourself Jesus Christ. One line. That's all right.
God damn it. I'm the hermit.
God damn it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So much blasphemy and racism already in the kickoff show of the Happy Hour pod. See, I'm already announcing. I'm putting you over.
There we go. That, what, Socrates just had a good question. Who fucked more prostitutes, Herb Abrams or him? And I'm thinking it's probably you because Herb's dead.
I don't know that backstory for Socrates, but I know a little bit about Herb, but I might have to give it to Socrates on this one, just sight unseen, because I don't want to see it.
Sight unseen.
Because I can't see him. I can't see him. Sorry, I'm on the wrestling podcast too, so I got that on the brain.
You can't see.
Good Lord. Hey, I'm gonna go grab a beverage. I'll be right
Can't see
back.
anything either.
I'll be right back.
Dude, the Old Bay in this is fucking like you can fucking tell 150 fucking
It's salty.
percent.
It's salty.
Yeah, it's very salty. This is not Old Bay. This is just semen in a can. That's all this is.
Oysters, boy.
Oysters. Is Kim gonna watch? I think we're gonna get a good reaction of the live people, because there's a lot of people looking forward to
You know
this.
who created that beer, right?
Who's that?
Chris Kushner. He's the Old Bay boy.
The Old Bay boys.
This is
Yeah,
harvest.
okay.
This is harvested from the semen of Chris Kushner, the Old Bay boy.
What does this say?
Goss.
Goose, goss.
Goss, goose.
fuck
Something
does that mean?
Obey Goss.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Fucking goose sausage. What the fuck? It wasn't even
What
a-
I miss?
We're trying to figure out what Goss means. It says Obey Goss on this beer because
Goss goes.
yeah, goose Goss. Like I
Old Bay goes down. Goes
Obey
down.
goes down.
G-O-S-E.
Smooth.
What?
It could be an acronym for something. This is just says Yingling. I don't know what that is about.
That way Mike has something to put his beer on. Mike, I'm gonna slide those over. You can just put it on that.
Thanks for giving me something to put my beer on. No, I know we got plenty of mics here.
Yeah,
I got my coaster going.
Streets giving me a shoot all the time. What do you think this for the fucking WWE stuff? What the fuck?
Dude, y'all ever get down to the Yingling factory, which is about maybe 3 hours away from the Baltimore area? It's a good tour, and they've got some of these classic Yingling. If you can see this in here, classic Yingling pints and some flavors that you can't get anywhere. It's good stuff.
That's good shit. That's good.
Good shit. I forgot I can cuss on this podcast. I don't do a lot of that on the Dirty Ugly. We try to keep it family friendly, but I know this is a different audience, so you might see my dark side come out if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. We encourage it.
Shit, bitch, piss, asshole, fuck.
What about the F-bomb? I've heard it.
The only thing
I got fighting pandas on my shirt, so I'll say it all.
the only thing we don't do is political stuff, or
The
you know.
I do.
Repeal the 19th. Now we're getting
I
political.
promise that I won't, but I do.
I was ready to raise my platform.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's the thing. Like, I'm like, you know what? There's so many of those goddamn programs out there that do that.
You're right.
We're just gonna be us. If people like us or like what we're doing, okay, cool, whatever. If not, we're having fun doing it. We're talking to cool
We're not here to put on a platform.
Yeah, you want to be James Ellsworth?
Whoa, hey, he made his debut last night. If you didn't see
it's
that,
weird because it was 5 years to the date when he did the stuff with Braun. It popped up in my Facebook memories or whatever and all that. I was like, oh man. So and it's weird because Danny told us before. He's like, I would never use that guy in MCW. Just
right.
What I know about him. And then they use him in MCW, and I'm just kind of like, oh, okay.
COVID does weird things to people. Quarantine makes people have ideas that might not usually come out. It's like, you know what? This will pop the crowd and get all of the indie marks thinking, oh my God, doesn't he run another promotion? Oh my God, like what's he going to do? Come in there and win a championship? I don't think so. But
him and I attended a show at the First Mariner Chicken Box, whatever the fuck
whatever it's called
the
now.
Royal Baltimore Arena Box.
And he was like, I went to go grab a beer. He was like, Brandon Scott's in this match.
I worked that guy, man.
Yeah.
I worked that kid when he was a rookie.
I worked that kid when he was a kid.
Yeah, he was literally like 120 pounds.
Hey, the Royal Farms Arena does not sell Royal Farms chicken. I have a big problem with this.
You know what?
That's
I'm very upset about that.
weird.
Also,
Big problem.
Camden Yards now has the Chick-fil-A cow everywhere,
And there's no
but there's no
Chick-fil-A.
fucking Chick-fil-A.
No Chick-fil-A. Also, they advertise Pepsi Zero. They don't sell that either.
Yeah. Which they had Coke Zero. When they had Coke, they had Coke Zero.
Right.
Gotta have
Pepsi
both.
Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Pepsi Max into Pepsi Zero, but yeah, they got stuff they're advertising. They got the big chicken out in left field, right past the foul pole. It says foul territory, foul, like chicken, and it's got the cow on the goddamn sign. Pardon my language, but I need Chick-fil-A. But it is a Sunday, so I know I was there today. There was a walk-off with Urinal or Urias, whatever the hell his name was.
Yeah.
But I got to give it to. I'm sorry, I just went over into baseball, but I got to give it up to
This
the
is
man
how
who
the
got
show
a
goes. We bounce back and forth with everything.
tangents. I know all about it. First major league home run for Ryan McKenna, and he was the guy that slid into home plate with the winning run, and that's beautiful. Loved it.
And I mean that team just overall as a whole, you can see the grease is starting to turn on the gears.
32 and a half games too late, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, you look at it, the Bay Sox right now are the best team in the minor leagues.
That's
They're
right.
the best team, and that has all of our prospects and all that. So that
That's
team,
right.
3 or 4 years, is going to be fucking flawless. Like Socrates thinks that the Tigers get the shit beat out of them by the Orioles, in the past.
Tigers,
But, yeah.
Tigers,
Yeah.
Eagles,
Yeah.
Tigers, Eagles. Look at this guy. Oh my God.
Longest winning streak in the last month in baseball. Them boys.
Yeah, and
he was so happy the hat he's wearing.
The big D on your hat is orange. It's orange.
All
right.
He found that hat at
Yeah,
Camden
welcome to the
Yards,
game today.
and he was like a pig in
It
shit.
was like
He was like,
$30.
oh,
man.
Found it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in one of the Oreo shops or whatever.
Yeah,
And he's
it's
like, is that a
adjustable. I
tiger?
know.
Okay, he didn't just like pick it up off somewhere like somebody put it down. Okay, he found it. All right, because it's like you're just walking by. It's like, hey kid, whoop, there you go.
Yeah. This is mine now.
Meow, and there you go. Good
All right,
shit.
so here's what I'll do, just
I got a home
in
hat and an away
case.
hat.
I'll copy this and send it to Al again, just in case,
Ow.
you know, Al didn't get the initial
My buddy,
email.
yeah.
So
Who's Ricky?
I got history with Al Snow. It's not bad. I was an MC at the Brainbusters school like 20 years ago when he came and did a meet and greet and met the first class of Brainbusters when that existed. So that was, my God, 20 years ago at
That
least.
was the show where he stole my move. That was 22 years ago.
Oh, so it was right around the same time. Okay.
No, it was that night.
That night.
Alan Sarvin. Look at that. Yeah.
It was that night.
Al. Fantastic. Yeah, the happy hour pod. No, this is great content. This is always entertaining. I love the guests that you guys put up on here. I love that you guys just come on here and you just talk, you know,
Yeah.
bullshitting with everybody, and it's great. Love it.
Yeah, we're gonna have Jay Ball. Yeah,
I
Jay
like
Bowler
that
will work out
episode.
well.
That's the one I like.
We have Justin from 98 Rock. He's coming up in September.
He's all right.
Schlegel?
That'll be fun.
Schlegel?
Yep, Justin.
That's great.
Well, that'll make Marianne and Justin that we've had
Yeah,
on.
right.
Tommy Simbazo is always fun.
Yeah,
Eric
he's
Woodward, the
cool.
comedians, they
He's
always
funny.
they're always fucking
They always deliver.
hilarious when
Yes,
they fucking
yes.
come on.
How about Mickey C? Mickey Cucciella. He's in the neighborhood.
I do want to reach out to Mickey.
Yes,
So, Mickey's always
yes.
fun. And Mickey, it's actually funny. Yeah, funny story
Hey,
with
Kurt.
Mickey. And this is on our Patreon exclusive. And I'll probably eventually tell this one day on a regular show. But Mickey, we had went on to 98 Rock. It was years ago for EWA. I think it was like 2008. I was in there. And we went on to 98 Rock and we did Jugs for Plugs when they used to do that to promote EWA. And I remember that Mickey challenged me to a match. And he's like, okay, look, you're going to put that belt on the line. And I'm challenging you for it.
Nobody cares
And-
about that.
and he's
Whose
like-
booze did you show?
one of my friends, his girlfriend did it. So yeah.
Mhm.
And it was funny because Spiegel, like she was right next to Spiegel, and the whole time Spiegel was just sitting there with like a mortified / smirk on his face, like the whole fucking time. And
That guy has a giant head. His head is so huge. His head is like it's like Tony Robbins large. It's like whoa. Seriously, it really is.
Fantastic.
it's like as big as the.
I mean, he's
the
awesome.
state
He's
of
an awesome
Texas.
guy. He's a cool
He has
guy.
Texas
But his
as
head
his
is like
head.
whoa. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Gorilla Monsoon used to say he's got a head like a typewriter.
Good old Gorilla Monsoon. And you know, I'm intrigued with Al, like what kind of like fucking road stories he's been a part of.
I
And
can
all
tell you
that
what he was a
shit,
part of,
like-
and he kayfaded the high priest.
Oh boy.
Tipped out on Al.
Kayfaded, man.
He might have a few others.
Yeah,
Maybe a couple.
yeah. Just.
But
a
the one he
couple,
remembers
just
is
a couple.
kayfading the high priest. That's first and foremost.
Real quick, let's give Mikey D some props here.
Props.
Maryland referee,
There you go.
Ring announcer.
ring announcer,
Commentator.
Professional.
Podcaster.
consummate guy,
Thank you.
awesome dude. Glad to have you on the program.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Mike starts saying his whole shtick, and then he's nudging me. He's like, "Come on, man!" Like,
Because you look at your
what,
phone
what,
going-
what,
I'm
Mike
like,
did? Well, seeing
why-
our guest is.
Hey, listen,
God,
listen to this. Whoa. Not to say
However, you know,
Al-
any publicity is good publicity. I like.
Yeah, not any, and this is what Socrates said. Not anybody can moderate Al Snow and the High Priest. And when we were doing this, I was like, let me reach out to Mikey D because he has his podcast and he knows Socrates. And,
Let's pay him $12,000 to fly to fucking
yeah.
And I'm not going to Hollywood Al. I like Socrates. Don't you worry about that. But I'm not Hollywood Al at all. I am not doing that. He gets first dibs. Socrates, you get the comeback.
There we go.
But Al gets the heat. Hey, Ray, I wanted to bring this up. You probably might remember this, actually. The very first road trip I took in this business was with you and Blood, and we were going out to SWO in Columbia, South Carolina, right. It's Columbia, Pennsylvania, and we got a flat tire, and we were running around on a Saturday or Sunday night trying to find somebody to fix this flat tire so we could get to the show. And I think we made it barely on time. I think I was refereeing that night and I was doing the Iron Man thing. So it's like, okay, well, they don't have a referee until I get there. And I didn't know if you guys were going on first or second. The War Pigs, I think it was at the time.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed that. So like my first road story in the business is getting a flat tire with the War Pigs.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, you were with us. We told that on the show. You were with us that
Damn
night.
right.
That's great because I
Love it.
remember Blood
Love
was doing it,
Love it.
and we were supposed to open. We were
Yep.
supposed to open that show.
Sure were.
We got there and we told them, and they're like, "Do you think you can make it for the main event?" And we were like, "Yes." And I think it was me and Blood versus Molson, and what the hell was that guy's name that wore the overalls?
Oh yeah.
What the hell was his name?
Christ. I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, but we
This guy-
we were working that. And I remember we came into the arena as we were parking, our music was playing.
Yeah.
And we stuck our gear on in, I think, wherever they were fixing the tire. I think it was Walmart or something. We went, we put our gear on that.
How slow I will go just pour that on your ass.
Hopped in the car and we drove and walked right out and called the whole
Nice,
match
nice.
out.
And I refereed. That was the only match I got to referee, and it was that match. And,
And it's funny because we worked like probably, I think it was like 15. We did like 15 in that match, and we called the whole thing
Yeah.
on the fly.
And I remember it was pretty good, actually. Some of the best stuff comes when you don't know what the hell you're doing. You know, when you're planning it out and just going, hey, here we go. They still want to put you on. And it was, again, I was still relatively new in the business, but I think I did all right for you guys. But we were all just like, hey, man, you want to bet that story when we brought the tire burst out? And it wasn't even about the match afterwards. It was like, yeah, we fucking lost the tire.
Yeah.
Well, what a great story. What a great way to start my road into business.
Yeah, and I mean I mean, at least with you had it easy. Like normally when you travel with the War Pigs makes you drive, and then they go to the strip club and get drunk, and then
Right.
they drive home. Just ask Chris Burns; he'll tell you, because that's how we broke him into the business. We were like, this guy doesn't drink. We can have him take us to the shows, and then we can get blitzed. And then he can just drive home. I mean, he enjoyed himself. He had a lot of fun, but eventually he called on it. He's like, I know this game. And that's when we were just kind of like, well, shit. Okay, whatever. Fine, awkward. We'll endanger our lives driving back. I remember Blood said that. Blood's like, fine, I'll drive home drunk because you don't want to drive sober, Chris Burns.
Chris got it worse than I did. No, I mean, but if the tire wouldn't have blown, I don't know where we would have ended up after that show, because we wouldn't have been rushed and stressed for that end spot, that main event. But no, it was still cool, man. And still had a good time. Always had a good time with you guys.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Where is Blood tonight? Drinking?
He's somewhere
In South
doing something
Carolina.
at his place in South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Shout out to Blood.
yes, yeah, definitely. Like,
Oh,
he actually he was on out last week. He joined us last week.
Okay. Yeah. It was a lot of I've been catching up with a lot of content with you guys. It's a whole lot of content, but I see some of them live, but then sometimes, I'm singing or doing my other things because Sunday nights are usually, you guys are on other nights. You go live other than Sunday nights, I think.
Well, what it is we don't have a set night because a
I
lot
didn't think so.
a lot of times with the guests it's based on when they're available.
That makes sense. And then you just go live when they're available.
Yeah, originally like tonight Al was supposed to be on Friday.
Al. Right. You told me that.
I had the Orioles game and I was like, fuck. So, I was like, would you mind doing Sunday? And he's like, no, not at all. And I mean, that's the thing. Like as Socrates says, if he shows up, because that's the thing. It's like, if Al doesn't show up, we're going to have an Al Snow. Like you remember where Hogan had the shirt that said Hogan still rules or Hawk still rules. We're going to have it. And it's Socrates still, or Al Snow still fears Socrates or whatever.
He's going to say it's 2-0 at that point in time.
Yeah. And I mean, he shared it on Twitter. So, I mean, last time he shared it in all, and right before we went on, he's like, hey, I had pneumonia real bad. I can barely talk. I'm just going to have to reschedule. And, at that point, you know how it works. That's why I run the show like a wrestling show. I'm like, cards subject to change. Fuck it.
There you go.
Whatever. And some of our best episodes were when the guests canceled on us. Like they couldn't do it. And we were just kind of like, all right, well, we don't have a guest, whatever. Let's just go and drink beer, shoot the shit. And, that's that. And,
Right.
recently just had a great bump because Sarah J, we sent a shirt to Sarah J and she posted it on Twitter.
Nice.
With like her interview video is 3 months old, and she tagged that, and that went from like 111 views to almost 2,000 views, like almost. It's crazy. Actually, I'm gonna admit Al right now.
Uh-oh. There we go. It's time.
He popped in and then he popped out.
Oh.
That last time.
Yeah.
Sounds like a personal problem.
He might be having a little bit of technical issues too.
This is your
Could
life.
be.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Socrates is like, this is your life.
Socrates is like, oh, he's already pulling this shit.
It's over. I'm not waiting a third time. Two strikes and you're out.
I saw him pop up very briefly, so you know.
You know they got pills.
That's
for
why I'm wearing the old school WWF shirt, because that's Al. That'd be good for Al.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm going to do.
Do it.
I am going to go ahead and start setting up the Facebook Live stuff, because once he comes on, I'll just give him a little bit of a heads up. And I think he's pretty sure. I think he knows for sure that this is a work, but I just want him to know 100%. Hey, you know, this is all.
What? Hey, man, next thing you're going to tell me Santa Claus ain't real. Okay. Stop that. Stop that. You guys were supposed to smarten me up on that car ride where the tire blew. Come on, man. Trying to bring a young kid into this bit. Yeah, a young kid of 35. That's when I got into the business. Too effing late is what it was. But luckily, I'm still hanging around now, and I'm still somewhat put together physically. So, you know, I'll keep doing what I can do, and as long as I can do it. But as the voice doesn't go, then I'm okay.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, did you ever sit there and think that at any point in your life, you will be moderating between Al Snow and Socrates? Like, Al Snow, you know, it may be feasible, but the man, the myth, the legend of
The
Socrates,
high priest.
you know, the high priest, like this.
I didn't say I put those two together in my head, but now that I get to do it, and it's going to be recorded, and it's going to be for everyone to see and hear, it's going to be a piece of history.
Yeah.
And I'm always glad to be part of history.
Yeah.
I did have a Broken Skull IPA in there, but I didn't want to get too heavy on the product and then just go, oh, a swig of water for the worker man.
What?
Yeah.
I love Stone Cold, by the way. I you know, took a lot of stuff from his podcast, and I still enjoy him. But anyway, Orioles got the sweep this weekend as you're setting all that up. It's fantastic over the Nationals in the Beltway Series.
Yeah, they sure did. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and get ready to start this.
Do it.
And then when Al comes in, we'll just admit Al, and then, you know, we'll roll with it, because he popped in and popped out. And also that'll build a little bit of suspense as well.
Oh.
You know, he's popped into the room and we're live and Al's not here. And, you know, that's the whole thing. So, you know, that'll be a little fun. I mean, I know he has the invite because I saw his name pop up for a second. Oh, okay, there it is right there. So let me admit him real quick. Says audio is connecting. All right, cool. What's up, man? How are you?
Just fine. How are you?
Good, good. How was that signing you just did?
It was great. Just very tired. I literally walked in the door about 5 minutes ago.
Oh shit!
So I went to Pittsburgh on Friday, and then Niles, Ohio on Saturday, and then Saturday evening I went to Erie, Pennsylvania, then drove to Dayton, Ohio for a comic convention. I just left and came home. So.
Okay, cool. And what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead. We were just doing a little bit of pre-show stuff for our Patreon account. We're going to get ready to rock and roll on Facebook Live.
Sure.
We'll start off with the whole, and you probably know, it's a whole work, like our buddy Socrates, you know, just an experience.
Just so you know, it's all work.
Yeah. Just an experience he had way back when.
Destroy
and we're like,
him.
And
Al, destroy him.
See, we're talking about this. Socrates doesn't know it's a
My
work. He
thing
thinks
is-
he's going to get slapped in the face. That's what it
I'm
is.
booking Al on the show. That's going to happen. That's why I like going to get Al on the show. So
Well, it took
Socrates.
2 tries, but yeah.
It's all a work to him.
it's
We're
not
working
good.
Socrates. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Al, my name's Mike, by the way. How you doing,
Hi,
buddy?
Mike. How are you?
Very well. You and I worked together like 20 years ago, but you know, I'm sure you don't remember that, but that's okay. You were always
I
really cool to me.
apologize. I can't remember my own birthday anymore. So
You were really nice to me. We were square, and we shook
well,
hands.
good.
We had a good time, and I appreciate you. I still have the autographed mannequin head that you gave me as well. So thank you very much for that.
All right, so
Thank
here we
you.
go. I'm going to
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead and hit go live on this, and then all right, so we're no longer live. Al, thank you.
Okay.
You know, I kind of train wrecked a little bit at the beginning. I just wanted to tell you, I had the benefit of being able to do 2 seminars with you in the past when I was early in my career, and I had guys like Adam Cole, Drew Gulak, Joe Gacy, all those guys were a part of that seminar as well. And it was probably one of the most informative seminars I've ever had. So, thank you for all the knowledge that you put out, the young guys.
Thank you.
I learned a lot personally, myself from that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I know that sometimes I get a little passionate and, I get a little snarky and a little smart assy, but it's because I care, and I so desperately want anyone that is there at those seminars to succeed, to pay attention and to try
Punches
to learn.
shit. It exposes the business. Every time you throw a punch, it exposes the business. Stuff like that. Yes.
And real quick, before we let you go, would you be able to say, this is Al Snow and you're listening to the Happy Hour podcast?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Anytime you're ready, we're still recording.
Hi, I'm former WWE superstar Al Snow, and you're listening to the Happy Hour podcast, because you know what makes me happy besides the Happy Hour podcast? That's it.
Love it.
Al,
Nice.
Oh,
It was so cool to finally get to talk to you after all these years. It really was a cool moment. Thanks for
Oh, and guys, sincerely, thank you. I mean,
Thank
I'm
you.
glad we put
You
this
you
heat
had a
to
lot
bed.
going. You came right
I'm
in.
glad I'm glad we put this heat to bed. I mean, I cannot live another
Let's go over a
day
question real quick.
Yeah.
knowing that I've stole a
Gimmick.
finish.
Shinobi thing. How did you feel about that?
What's that? Say it again.
The Shinobi gimmick.
Oh, the Shinobi gimmick was awesome. I created that back when I had a school in Ohio. The main reason I did it was, and I literally taught myself how to move and have different body language when I wrestled, so that people could in any way possibly discern that it was me. And I did it so that,
We're like Mr. Olympia, like a mask gimmick, like.
well, not
nobody
just a
can do
mask
anything.
gimmick. Like I physically tried to take on a different persona, because fans can figure out who you are by the way you move.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was not easy, but I did it so that if I trained you and we did like a show in your hometown or something, the best way that I could make sure you had the best match was I would make sure that I wrestled you.
That makes sense.
And
Yes.
I'd come out and work with you and lead you and direct you and make you look like $1 million, so that your friends and family would be thrilled that they spent the money to come see the show. So,
Awesome.
and then I ended up starting to get booked more as that than I did as Al Snow.
Yeah, and
But
then
that was
it made it to
because
WWE.
right.
Yeah.
And then in WWE, I ended up using it a couple times too. So I remember Vince, after I had the match with Tajiri, he was like, "Well, goddamn, why'd you have him take the mask off?" I'm like, "Well, because the writers told me to take it off." He goes, "You shouldn't have taken it off. That was the best match I've ever seen you have." And I'm like, "Well,
That was
thanks."
pretty good, pal. Yeah.
And Al, once again, thank you. We we don't really do much of a script. We just come on and shoot the shit with everybody. And honestly, we're booked till December with guests. Like it's really overwhelming how like we try to have a guest every week, and we
Yeah.
appreciate it. We definitely need to have you on in the future, because
And we
You
should
know
go
what?
to the convention when he's in
oh yeah,
Baltimore.
yeah, I definitely want to pop up and say hello, get a photo, something like that
Now that
while
we're
you're in
friends, we get a
town.
picture
So,
together.
yeah. The heat is squashed now. You get,
Done.
yeah. So
He's
Al,
done.
once again, thank you for coming,
Thank you
for
so
joining
much,
us.
sir.
I know
thank you, Al.
had a rough
Thank
day
you,
or a rough
guys.
day, so we'll catch up again later. I appreciate it. And next week, this is when it's gonna hit the podcast platforms. The Facebook Live, I'll probably share a half dozen times, but the regular podcast. platform.
And I'll share it as well, and send me whatever, and I'll put it out as well. So,
Okay, cool. And also, would you want us to send you out a shirt or something?
oh, that'd be great. Yeah,
Yeah. And then once you get it, the only thing we ask, if you can just post a photo,
yeah.
like in the
One
show or
time,
whatever.
happy hour
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
We're all
Not
live.
this-
Sweet.
not this one.
All right,
Not this one.
cool. So what I'll do is I'll get your address information. We'll get a shirt out to you, and we'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man. You guys take care. And again, thank you very much for the
Great
time.
night.
All right.
Well,
Thanks.
Thank you, Al.
See you.
Bye, guys.
See you, Mikey.
Thank you very
Thank God
much. I
for the heat.
appreciate
The
you.
heat's gone. Thank God the heat's gone.
All right, cool. All right, Mikey, thanks, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, man.
As I said, like the show, I don't think it really train wreck, but we just kind of go, every which way. And you know how it works. Like when you have so many guys, it's hard trying to bounce back and forth. Hey, who's going to say this? Who's going to say that?
Well,
Who's
it
gonna
only
say this?
triggered
Who's
because
gonna
Mike
say
kept
it?
trying
Yeah.
to open the computer back up. I just landed there, caught my bro.
Well, and also,
I like
Socrates
this
want to sit
fucking
down. He's
computer. I'm
like,
like,
I'm
why
like,
you-
Socrates,
I can't. If I sit down, I can't walk all the way up with the
I
couch.
just tried to work into it, man. That's just that was
Like,
it was beautiful.
Al was probably thinking, what the fuck did I get myself into? We got to show him. I
But
fucking
dude,
know it.
he was so serious. I was expecting him to be like, who the fuck's this guy? He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I really apologize. I'm like,
yeah. It's
No,
like-
and it's hard, and that's why I try to, not talk over anybody. And if I hear sound, I don't want to talk over it, or just that's kind of the thing when I've done the same thing. I've had somebody on the phone, somebody on Facebook Live, somebody in person, and sometimes as long as you can hear what's going on in this podcast, and if you can see it on the video portion of it, I think it's entertaining, especially if it's more free form. The more scripted you get, it becomes a little bit more hassle.
Best way to go.
To
Yeah,
listen
like I
to.
literally, I have no notes in front of me at all.
People have
It's
told
like,
me
let's go.
before, they're like, "Oh, do you
That
have any
promo,
questions?
that
You want to do
promo I
this?"
did, that was
I'm
off
like,
the top
"No,
of my
I
head.
fucking wing it every
We
time."
got enough of that in the wrestling business. Go
Every
6 to 8 minutes. Get this, get your shit in. No, this is
All-
what we're all
Call it
about.
on the fly. I've lived by that ever since I was a worker. But Mikey, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because it's Sunday. It's 9:00. So we all gotta
appreciate
work
it.
tomorrow and all that bullshit.
Thank you so much. And I
Yeah.
tried to get you in as much as possible because this guy just talks about himself a lot.
That's all right. No, but anytime you need, somebody to come in and do something, just let me know. Send me the information, and of course, tag me and everything, and I'll be able to share everything on all my platforms too.
Sweet.
Get the show.
All right, brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Take care, everybody.
All right, man.
Love
All
you.
right, see ya.
All right, buddy. Bye bye.
That was hilarious.